Good day, everyone. My name is Jefrey Latube, and now I will be tackle the Ausebel's meaningful verbal learning or the subsumption theory. But before that, let's ask now first who is David Paul Ausebel. David Paul Ausebel born on October 25, 1918 at died on July 9, 2008. He was an American psychologist born in New York. His most significant contribution to the field of educational psychology, cognitive science, and science education learning was on the development and research on advanced organizers. Ausubel's meaningful verbal learning or the subsumption theory. Many educational psychology theories often criticize the expository or representational manner of teaching. They say that teachers assume such a major role in learning as providers of information, while students remain a passive receivers of information. Instead of criticizing this manner of teaching, David Ausubel proposed ways of improving it. He suggested the use of advanced organizers. His ideas are contained in his theory of meaningful verbal learning. So maraming mga psychologists na nagsasabi na ang mga teacher lamang ang may kakayahang magbigay ng mga information, ideas sa mga estudyante. So imbis na i-criticize ito ni David Ausubel, gumawa siya ng mga ways to improve it by using the graphic organizers. So this is the Ausubel's subsumption theory. So the main theme of Ausubel's theory is that knowledge is hierarchically organized, that new information is meaningful to the extent that it can be related, attached, or anchored to what is already known. It is about how individuals learn large amounts of meaningful material from verbal or textual presentation in a school setting. He proposed the use of graphic organizers as a tool of teaching. So this is the focus of Ausubel's theory. The first one, the most important factor influencing learning is the quantity, clarity, and organization of the learner's present knowledge. So this present knowledge consists of facts, concepts, proposition, theories, and raw materials. Raw perceptual data that learner has available to him or her at any point in any point in time. So this comprises his or her cognitive structure. The second focus of subsumption theory is the meaningful learning takes place when an idea to be learned is related in some sensible way to ideas that the learner already possesses. Ausubel believed that before new material can be presented effectively, the student's cognitive structure should be strengthened. When this is done, acquisition and retention of new information is facilitated. The way to strengthen the student's cognitive structure is by using advanced organizer, which is advanced organizer allows students to have a bird's eye view or to see the big picture of the topic to be learned before going to the details. So, Ausubel's belief of the use of advanced organizer is anchored on the principle of subsumption. He thought that primary way of learning was a subsumption, which is subsumption. It is a process by which new material is related to relevant ideas in the existing cognitive structure. Likewise, Ausubel pointed out that What is learned is based on what is already known. This signifies that one's own prior knowledge and biases limit and affect what is learned. Also, retention of new knowledge is greater because it is based on prior concrete concepts. So, this is the four processes for meaningful learning of Ausebel subsumption theory. So, the first one is the derivative subsumption. Derivative subsumption describes the situation in which the new information you learn is an example of a concept that you have learned. So, for example, let's say you have acquired basic concepts such as bird. You know that a bird has feathers, a beak, and lay eggs. Now you learn about a kind of bird that you have never seen before. Let's say a blue jay. That conforms to your previous understanding of bird. Your new knowledge of blue jay is attached to your concept of bird, without substantially altering that concept in any way. So, and in Ausebel theory, you had learned about the blue jays through the process of derivative subsumption. So the second one is the correlative subsumption. Correlative subsumption is when you add new details to what you already know, usually higher order concept. So for example, now let's see now let's say you see a new kind of bird that has a big body and long, strong legs. It doesn't fly but it can run fast. To accommodate this new information, you must change or expand your concept of bird to include the possibility of being big and having long legs. You now include your concept of an ostrich to your previous concept of what bird is. You have learned about this new kind of bird through the process of correlative subsumption. In a sense, you must say that this is more valuable learning than that of derivative subsumption since it enriches the higher level concept. So the third one is the superordinate learning. Superordinate learning, you are already familiar with the things but didn't know the concept itself until it was taught. So for example, imagine that a child was well acquainted with banana, mango, daladan, guava, etc. But the child did not know until she was taught that these were all examples of fruits. In this case, the child already know a lot of examples of the concept but did not know the concept itself until it was taught to her. So that is the superordinate learning. The last one is the combinatorial learning. Combinatorial learning when the newly acquired knowledge combined with prior knowledge to enrich the understanding of both concepts. So the example of the combinatorial learning is the first three learning processes all included new information that relates to a hierarchy at a level that is either below or above previously acquired knowledge. Combinatorial learning is different. It describes a process by which new ideas derive from another ideas that is neither higher or lower in the hierarchy, but at the same level. It is a lot like as learning by analogy. So, for example, to teach someone about how plants breathe, you might relate it previously acquired knowledge of human respiration when man inhales oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide. The advanced organizers gives you two benefits. So the first one is you will find it easier to connect the new information with what you already know about the topic. So, mas mapapadali natin malaman or yung mga information and ideas na related doon sa ating topic na dinidiscuss. The second one is you can readily see how the concept in a certain topic and related each other. So these are the types of advanced organizers. So the first one is the expository. Expository describes the new content. The second one is narrative. It presents new information in the form of story format to students. The third one is skimming. It is done by looking over the new material to gain a basic overview. So the last one is the graphic organizers. It is visual to set up or outline the new information. So yung mga halimbawa nito is yung mga concept map, pictograph at saka yung mga concept pattern. So let's end this with the progressive differentiation. The most general ideas of a subject be presented first and then progressively. According to Ausebel, the purpose of progressive differentiation is to increase the stability and clarity of anchoring ideas. So, for example, meron kang topic A, topic B, and topic C. Para mas mapadali ka, is iwasan mo yung sisimulan mo sa topic A, tatapusin mo sa topic B, then doon sa topic C. So, according to Ausebel, you need to discuss the differentiation of this. You need to discuss yung pagkakaiba at pagkakatulad ng iyong mga topic na sa ganon, mas less yung time, then mas mapapadali pa ang iyong pagdidiscuss ng iyong mga topic. So that's all for my report. I hope you learned and thank you for watching.